So today we are going to see this 13th lecture in electrical drives, which is a chopper control of DC drive. So till yesterday we have seen the DC motor principles of operation, performance curves, and all these things. And we found the DC series motor is having very high starting torque, and this DC motor is used for electrical vehicle related operation. And electrical vehicle or electrical hybrid vehicle, they require a very high starting torque, which is provided by DC series motor. DC series motor initially requires a very high starting torque, and torque is equal to armature current square, and hence the initial torque of armature is very high in case of DC series motor. So that was the performance curve. We have also seen speed torque characteristic. We have also seen speed versus armature current characteristic. All those things we have seen yesterday. One control we had seen, that was combined armature and voltage control. It was for a separately excited DC motor. Separately excited DC motor is always allowing us to have better control, because in that case we can control the field part as well as the armature part. In combined armature and voltage control, what we were doing, we were connecting a voltage source to the armature and a separate voltage to the field. Initially we were keeping the armature voltage and field voltage at certain value. Then we were doing the armature control first. We were increasing the armature voltage initially, and the main aim was to keep the armature torque constant or the motor torque constant, and speed was increasing slowly. There are rheostat in the armature, there are rheostat in the field. So by field means whatever field current is given, and that is generating the electromagnet. So field means electromagnetic field, that is having a separate supply, which is called VF. Armature is called as VA. So VA and VF both were connected in case of separately excited DC series motor. In case of combined armature and voltage control, initially we were controlling the armature voltage, and the armature voltage was making the torque constant up to a certain speed. That speed is being called as the base speed. Okay, so up to base speed, the armature torque was kept as constant. Until base speed, we were increasing the armature voltage. After base speed, what's happening? After base speed, the armature voltage cannot be extended anymore. So in that case, armature voltage is at peak. What we do is we keep on inserting resistance in the field winding. That actually reduces the field current, that actually reduces the flux. And if the flux is reduced, speed of the motor increases. So when speed of the motor increases, at that time we will find that the torque automatically reduces. So up till the base speed, in the armature control, torque was constant. After the base speed, speed is increasing and the torque is reducing. And we know that power is equal to torque into speed. As torque is reducing and speed is increasing, motor power will be kept constant. So this graph was seen yesterday, that is still base speed, torque was constant. After base speed, the speed is increasing, and the torque is reducing, and the power is constant. So only this much part you have to explain. So that was one type of separately excited DC drive control. Today we are going to see a very important type. The whole topic is very important, so 2 3 questions can be formed from this. So after I finish this chapter, I will upload all the questions for module 1 and module 2. That is the questions for NSEM exam and questions for IA and all those things. So 10 marks question, many questions will be there, and that will be uploaded after completing this module 2. So today we will see the chopper control of DC drive. Chopper is a specific circuit, and this is actually producing a alternative DC, alternating DC. So it is neither DC, it is not AC, it is a alternating DC. So what is that kind? We will see that. And by using the chopper circuit, we can control the speed of the DC motor or performance of DC drive. What are the advantages of DC chopper drive? So choppers are used for the control of DC motor because they are creating some kind of variable DC. So choppers have several advantage, or this drive has several advantages, such as high efficiency, flexibility in control. They're lightweight, circuit size is small. So chopper is a very small circuit, but it gives heavy or very good flexibility in control. Quick response, regeneration, and down to very low speed. Separate case of armature and voltage control, where field and armature coils are connected to two different power sources. So that is actually separately excited DC motor. Field coil is getting a different supply from a different voltage source. Armature is also getting supply from a different voltage source. So that is called as separately excited DC motor. So in case of separately excited DC motor, we get better control and flexibility for armature voltage and field control compared to the self-excited DC machine. Self-excited DC machine means same voltage is connected to the field as well as armature. Okay, so amount of controllability is less, whereas separately excited DC motor and controllability and flexibility of control is more. So this chopper circuit will be can be applied for both self-excited as well as separately excited DC motor. So for a DC motor speed control in open loop and closed loop configuration, the high frequency operation of chopper results in advantage of high frequency output voltage. So chopper is actually creating on off for the DC, and it is creating some kind of frequency, and that frequency is controlled by some MOSFET or maybe BJT or maybe SCR device. So they are frequency control device, and we are actually getting high frequency at the output voltage, high frequency ripple at the output voltage, but the ripple at the motor current is less. So ripple should not be affecting the DC motor much. Okay, so by chopper, whatever we are finding is the ripple in the armature current is lot less. So a reduction in the armature current ripple in turn reduces the armature copper loss or active loss. So this is a very important third point, that though chopper is a kind of a alternating amplitude circuit with respect to time, but in this case we are finding the ripple is not affecting the armature current much. As ripple is not there in armature current, this is actually reducing the armature copper loss. So armature copper loss means whatever conductor is there at the armature, whenever that is getting some current, there is a I square R loss in the armature, and that hits up the armature conductor, and when the armature conductor getting heated up, its resistance increases, so I square R loss further increases. So it's a cumulative effect kind of thing. So always our main aim is to reduce the armature copper loss and power generation or heat generation at the armature. We should keep it to minimum. Chopper circuit improves the speed regulation and transient response of the drive. So transient response of the drive means as soon as we give some voltage to the armature, very fast the armature should go to the highest possible speed. It should not waste much time. So that is actually the transient response of the drive. How fast it can go to the peak speed and how fast it can produce the maximum output. So chopper circuit improves the speed regulation, speed control, and the fastness of response in case of DC motor drive. So all these are advantages of chopper drive, you have to remember. Now let us see what is a chopper drive. So we will do actually two circuits. First circuit is very easy, this one. Second circuit is also easy. It's a extended version of the first circuit. So there are many circuits, but we will do only two. So this is called as a class A type of chopper, or it's called as a step down chopper. So how the variable DC is produced, we have to see. So here this is the supply which will drive the motor. Where is the motor? This is the motor. Towards the right side it is written inductive load motor, inductive load or motor, which is given by VA voltage. So voltage across motor is given by VA, which is in the right side of the image. In the left side of the image you can find out the supply voltage is V, and there is a switch S at the top of the circuit, which is called as self-commutated semiconductor switch. Now in case of the self-commutated semiconductor switch, it is written below. You can find we can use many devices. We can use thyristor, SCR, thyristor and SCR, they are same, silicon control rectifier. We can use GTO, MOSFET, IGBT and all. So this is just a switch. This is just a power switch which is given by S. If we are using transistor, or if you are using something, this IC is actually the current which is controlling the on off of this switch. So when IC is given, this switch will get closed. When IC is removed, this switch will get opened. And why I have shown a diode here in the switch? Because so in the switch S there is a diode shown, because this is the direction of the current from the left to right. So this is a self-commutated semiconductor switch. Self-commutated means it can turn off easily on its own. So turning on circuit is there, turning off circuit is there, that is called as commutation circuit. But this switch can turn off on its own. And there are few currents in the circuit. You can find that IA is the load current, which is shown here at the top. VA is the load voltage. So motor is connected here in case of inductive load. IC is the control current, which is making the switch on off. So IC is there. IC, I'm giving a pulse and the switch will get closed. As soon as the switch will get closed, this V supply will appear across inductive load motor and VA will be obtained. So when the switch S is closed, at that time motor will get supply from the supply V. And whenever the switch is opened, because IC is a pulse kind of a thing, which is shown in the right, you can see. So in the second graph, you can see what is IC is. So IC is on for 0 to delta T. So for 0 to delta T amount of time, we are connecting the switch to be on. As soon as the switch is on, V is connected to VA. That means you can check at the top graph, that is as long as IC. So this is the second graph given by IC. This is the control for the switch. As long as the switch is closed, motor is getting supply. So at the top, this is the supply across the motor. Okay, and there's a DC motor, DC series motor, you can say. So between 0 to delta T, as long as the switch is closed, the motor voltage is quite high. What's happening between delta T to capital T? Between delta T to capital T, this switch is going in the commutated or off mode. In that case, this IS is suddenly becoming 0. Okay, so IS is existing. You can see the below graph. IS is existing, increasing between 0 to delta T. Okay, and between delta T to T, when the switch is off, at that time IS is not there. IS is the switch current. Okay, at that time, a very good thing, a very new thing which is happening. So first thing we have to understand is all the type of load in the whole world, 80 to 90% load is inductive load. And inductance is having a lagging power factor because current through the inductor is lagging the voltage across the inductor. So there's a very important thing you have to remember. Two things I told. First thing is most of the load in the whole world is inductive. You see tube, you see motor, you see pump, any kind of thing. Most of the things are inductive. Okay, so 80%. And inductor is having a lagging power factor. What is meant by that? Whenever AC supply is given, current in the inductor is lagging the voltage. If it is pure inductor, that means only L, there is will be 90 degree. And if it is a resistor part present, RL circuit, in that case the lag angle will be in between 0 to 90 degree. So all these are very important things you have studied in the first year, you have to remember. So this is a graph which is IA, which is a load graph, which is very interesting. We have to see what happens between delta T to T. So first, second and fourth, three graphs are very easy to understand. So this is the chopper circuit. It is making a DC. So V is a constant DC. Whatever supply is shown in the left side, it's a constant DC over time. But what supply you are giving to the motor, VA, it is not a constant DC. Just check between delta T to T, there is nothing. Okay, so this we are controlling actually. So 0 to delta T, it is called as on time. Delta T to T, it is called as off time. And what is duty cycle? Duty cycle is delta T divided by T. So as long as you are keeping this delta T on or motor on, so duty cycle is more. Okay, and delta T to T is the off time of the motor. So duty cycle is on time divided by off time. So by this chopper or by this IC control, we can control how much is the voltage or how long we want to give supply input V to the motor. If more supply is given, obviously motor output will be more, because now this, just check how to calculate the average DC. So total time is between 0 to T. Total time is 0 to T. And how much is the supply given? Supply V is connected to motor only for 0 to delta T time, and supply is V. So how much is the area of this on time of the motor? Base is delta T, height is V. So just find what is the area. Area is delta T into V. What I'm telling you is how to find out the average voltage VA or load voltage across the motor. Okay, so you are supposed to find out the average voltage of this DC. or this is variable DC, whatever is shown here. So the total time of one cycle is T. So base is T. And how much is the area of this? Base is 0 to delta T, that is the on time, and height is V. So average DC VA, how much will be VA? It will be delta T multiplied by V divided by capital T. I will repeat this, you write down in your book, because rectangular area divided by total time, that is actually the amplitude of VA. So we are calculating how much is VA. VA is the on-time area. On-time area is nothing but rectangular area, that is V into delta T, divided by the total time. Total time is given by T. So VA will be equal to average voltage V into delta T divided by capital T. This you have to remember. So more is the value of delta T, more will be the value of VA. So this is what is called as chopper control. And how we are controlling this on time of the motor? Just by controlling the IC current. How long we want the IC current to keep the switch S in a on state. That's all. So more is the value of delta T. So for more time you are keeping the switch closed, more will be the voltage V connected to the load, and more will be, higher will be the value of VA, and higher will be the value of VA, more will be the power generated by the motor. So this is what is the chopper circuit, and four voltages are shown. So top is load voltage, that is VA. Next is switch base control, so that is the IC. How we are controlling the IC. So this IC actually is the heart, or sorry, not heart. IC is actually the brain of the circuit. This controls how much will be the value of VA. Okay, and that is controlled through controlling delta T. Load current I will explain later. And fourth thing is source or switch current, that is IS. So for delta T amount of time this switch is connected, that means this IS is flowing. That's why IS will be increasing between 0 to delta T. Between delta T to T, there is IC is not there, switch will be open, process repeats. Now there is coming a very important fundamental. We have discussed everything, but we have not talked anything about DF, what is called as a free will or flyback diode. Very important concepts. Every interview, every viva, they used to ask what is the function of DF. So for that you have to understand how does a inductor work. So what is the property of the inductor? The property of inductor is whenever the inductor is getting a very high rate of change of current, a huge voltage is induced in the inductor. So inductor voltage VL is equal to L into DIT dt. I will repeat. Inductor voltage VL is equal to L. L is the inductor value. So this is a motor load, so it's having huge amount of inductor L, capital L. So inductor voltage, or you can say VA, this VA. So VA is appearing at this point also. Just check. Whatever is the value of VA, that is appearing at this point also at the switch. Okay. So if due to on off of this switch, so initially the switch is open. Now you are giving IC for 0 to delta T time, switch is getting closed. As soon as the switch is getting closed, circuit goes into transient, but finally it comes to steady state, and this VA gets a certain amount of current. That current is shown here. The current increases from IA1 to IA2. You can see this ramp in the IA. The current increases from IA1 to IA2. So no problem. Motor is getting current, motor is getting voltage, motor is running. Then what happens? The problem happens in the off time. Whenever there is an off time, delta T to T, suddenly the switch is off, made off at the time delta T. Here comes the problem. So initially switch is open. First we close it. As soon as we close it, V is given to the VA. Motor runs. Current through the motor increases from IA1 to IA2. Motor is running smoothly, no problem. After certain time, exactly at delta T, IC is off. As soon as IC is off, switch gets opened again. Here comes the problem. Here comes a huge rate of change of current through the inductor. Because inductor was on, because switch was closed, inductor was conducting heavily, and motor is carrying huge current, some 1 ampere, 2 ampere, 3 ampere current. Suddenly what happens? Exactly at delta T, we are removing the IC. That means we are making the switch open. As soon as the switch opens, there is a huge rate of change of current. That means there is a huge amount of voltage which is created across this load, because VL is equal to L into dit dt. This is a very important concept, and you have to understand how does the inductor work. So as soon as the switch is made off, it was carrying huge current of IA2, good amount of motor current. As soon as the switch is off, as soon as this current suddenly tries to fall to zero, it will not try to fall to zero, because inductor always opposes the current which is flowing through it. And then because of Lenz's law, the inductor will produce a huge amount of voltage in the opposite direction. That means this below will be positive and the top will be negative. And this huge amount of voltage, if it is greater than the PIV rating of this diode type of thing, or if this huge amount of negative voltage, if it is very high, that time the switch will get burnt. This is the problem. That means as soon as we are trying to open the switch, we have to do some protective mechanism which will make this very huge voltage flow through this. And as soon as we are trying to make the switch open, huge amount of voltage created. If this path is not there, if this diode path is not there, that huge voltage appears directly across the switch, and that will burn the switch and the chopper circuit will fail. That's what we have to do is we connect a diode in the reverse direction. What is this diode called? It is called as flywheel diode. So what is the job of flywheel diode? We have to explain that this motor is conducting initially very well. The switch is closed. Suddenly at delta t, the switch is opened. As soon as the switch is opened, there is created a reverse direction voltage. That means the below is positive and top one is negative. Okay, because of Lenz's law, because of inductive effect. As soon as that thing happens, the switch is open and this diode becomes forward biased because of the voltage induced in the inductor due to the sudden change in the current in the inductor. Why sudden change? Because you can check, this is a discontinuity at 0 delta t. That means suddenly we are switching off this very heavily conducting switch, and there is a sudden jerk on the inductor, and the inductor will produce voltage in the negative direction, and that negative direction voltage will make this diode short circuit, and whatever motor current that will circulate through this path, that is diode va, that will circulate through this path, and eventually that will fall down to zero. That is exactly what is happening between IA2 to IA1 in the duration of delta t to t. So this is the part you have to understand what is happening in the load current. Okay, what is happening in the load current in between delta t to t? What is happening in between delta t, or exactly at delta t when the switch is opened? At that time, huge amount of voltage is created in the inductor in the negative direction. Bottom is becoming positive, top is becoming negative because of Lenz's law. In that case, that huge amount of negative voltage is making the freewheel diode or DF or flyback diode forward biased. When that thing is happening, whatever is the reverse direction current, that will be flowing through the flywheel diode and motor and in a circulating fashion. And after certain time, that will die down and that current will come to zero like this. So if the flywheel diode is not there, that huge voltage would have appeared in the switch would have been burnt. So what is the job of flywheel diode? It is a safety circuit. It is actually giving the huge amount of voltage generated in the inductor a path. Okay, as long as the switch is open, it is giving this huge voltage a path, and current is flowing from IA2 to IA1, and again it is coming back to a very low voltage IA1, and exactly at IA1 again we are giving this IC to be on, and as soon as IC is on, again the same cycle goes on. So the same thing is explained here, and the same thing you have to explain what is the mainly job of flywheel diode, which is very well explained here in the coming circuits. We'll go back again to the chopper circuit. So the semiconductor switch S is operated periodically over a period of capital T and remains closed for T on is equal to delta T. So switch on time is delta T, switch off time is delta T to T. So delta is equal to T on by T. You can see at the right side. Delta is equal to T on by T is the duty cycle of the chopper. So duty cycle means on time divided by total time. Control signal IC is the base current of the transistor. So this S can be transistor, it can be thyristor, it can be GTO, it can be MOSFET. Considering this switch is a transistor based switch, so base current is nothing but IC or control current, which is deciding for how much time transistor will be on, for how much time the motor will get supply directly from V. Okay, and IC conducts till delta T. Now you can play with delta T. So by timing control circuit, we have done the monostable, stable, all those multivibrators and all. So those things may be used here. We can play with delta T, how long we want the motor to be on. Same circuit, same explanation is given here. So there is a class A chopper action. What we are saying is during 0 to delta T, so the same graph is given here. The load is derived from the input. So load voltage VA is connected to input voltage between 0 to delta T. And VA is generated. And how much is VA? Again, I'm repeating, VA is equal to V multiplied by delta T divided by T. So this whole area of on time of the motor is given by area of this rectangle, V into delta T, that is the area of this rectangle, equally divided over the region capital T, because capital T is one cycle of the chopper. Okay, so V into delta T by capital T is nothing but motor voltage, that is VA. So here load current IA increases from IA1 to IA2. You can check between 0 to delta T, load current increases from IA1 to IA2. The switch S is opened at delta T. During the off period of switch S between delta T to capital T, the load inductance maintains the flow of current through the flyback diode. Because in that case, the switch is off, huge amount of voltage is produced in the inductor because of Lenz's law, and that needs a path. Otherwise, that huge voltage will go affect the switch will get burnt. So flyback diode is giving a kind of a, we cannot say discharge path, but kind of a path for huge amount of voltage or current which is induced in the inductor because of sudden change in current, or DIDT is sudden, because suddenly the switch has been made off at delta T. So flyback diode explained later in detail. So 3 slides I have given. I have already explained the thing. You can just go through the slide, and this flyback effect can be asked in the exam. So load terminal voltage stays 0. You can check here between delta T to T, the load voltage is equal to 0. Okay, assume flyback diode internal voltage drop is 0. The load current decreases from IA2 to IA1 here. So just check the IA graph between delta T to T, the load current changes from IA2 to IA1. The internal 0 to the interval, actually this should be interval, the interval 0 to delta T is called the duty interval. So the 0 to delta T is called as the duty interval, and the interval delta T to T, that is the off time, is called as freewheeling interval. So the on time, whenever the IC is on, it is called as duty interval, because in this period motor is getting supply from the actual supply V, and when the switch is off, that is S is off, IC is not there, delta T to T, this is called as freewheeling interval. So in freewheeling interval, the current is falling again from IA2 to IA1, and again from capital T to capital T plus delta T, the duty interval will happen, and this process will go on. So this is the explanation for class A type of chopper, very easy type of control. So we can play with the time delta T, and the capital VA, that is how much is the average voltage on DC motor, is controlled by controlling delta T. And delta T very easily we can control by RC control of multivibrators and all, and very easily we can control the speed of the motor. So this is a very sophisticated and simple kind of operation which is called as a chopper operation. So the diode DF provides a path for the load current to flow when the switch is off, and thus improves the load current waveform. Furthermore, by maintaining the continuity of the low current, so initially the load current is IA1 to IA2, and then at the off time it is from IA2 to IA1, again then next time IA1 to IA2. So this is actually a continuous graph in IC. So maintaining the continuity of the load current at turn off, that means between delta T to T, it prevents the transient voltage from appearing across switch S. So the same thing I told you, that instead of making the current exactly equal to 0 at delta T, motor current, we are not making motor current is equal to 0. Instead, we are providing a path for the motor current to flow, and the motor current is reducing from IA2 to IA1, but it is there, it is not zero. Okay, so this prevents the transient voltage from appearing across switch S due to sudden change of the load current, and this actually saves the switch from getting burnt. Very important concept. Okay, the source is waveform is also shown at the bottom of the figure. The source current flows only during the duty period and not in the freewheeling period. Now the conclusion, by controlling delta between 0 to delta t, or the controlling delta value between 0 to 1, the load voltage is varied from 0 to V. Okay, thus chopper allows a variable DC voltage which is obtained from a fixed DC voltage source. So only this much if you do, that will be enough for chopper control for DC series motor. And the load whichever is shown in the circuit at the right side, that load is nothing but DC series motor. Now next circuit, I have given you a link. Okay, so this link also I will post in the group, and here at the top left side the main equation is given, that is inductor voltage is equal to L DIL dt. That is nothing but the inductor, whenever there is a rate of change of current, suddenly it produces a inductive voltage. Okay, so the whole freewheeling process is explained here. You can go through this slides. So initially, what I said, initially the switch is open. Here I have not shown the freewheeling diode. Load is inductive. So RL load, whenever there is an inductor, there is a small resistance also into it. So this diode is carrying the current. So when the switch is open, then the switch gets closed. Whenever the switch is getting closed, how much is the current at the steady state? So in the switch is getting closed means steady state current will be V divided by R. So that is what is given.